Hello guys, we are learning about alcohols and phenols. In the previous video, we have seen how to prepare alcohols. In today's video, we are going to see the preparation of phenols and the physical properties of alcohols and phenols. So first, let's see what are the starting materials that we can use to prepare phenols. And remember, phenol is also called as carbolic acid and it was first isolated from coal tar. So the starting material that we can use are haloarenes, benzene, diazonium salts and cumene. Let's see one by one and we will prepare phenols from these starting compounds. First one is from haloarenes. We have seen haloarenes in the first chapter. What are haloarenes? When a hydrogen in benzene ring is replaced by a halogen, we call that as haloarene. Here we have replaced the hydrogen with chlorine, so we are going to call this as chlorobenzene. When chlorobenzene is fused with sodium hydroxide at 623 Kelvin and 300 atmospheric pressure, we are getting sodium phenoxide, ONA. So C6H5 ONA, O minus Na plus is called as sodium phenoxide. When this sodium phenoxide is acidified with HCl, we are getting phenol, OH. So this is how we prepare phenol from haloarenes. Next preparation is from benzene. If you treat benzene with oleum, oleum is nothing but fuming sulfuric acid, you are sulfonating benzene. So you get benzene sulfonic acid, which is nothing but a benzene ring with SO3H. When this benzene sulfonic acid is treated with sodium hydroxide, we will get sodium phenoxide. And you know how to convert sodium phenoxide into phenol. You're going to acidify it. So here it is shown in the same arrow. So first step is treating this with sodium hydroxide and the second step is acidifying that, which means the sodium phenoxide. So you are getting phenol. So this is how we prepare phenol from benzene. First treating it with oleum to sulfonate it and then treating it with sodium hydroxide and finally acidifying, you are getting phenol. The next preparation is from aniline. Aniline is C6H5NH2. It's an aromatic primary amine. We have a separate topic for amines. We will be learning in detail there. So now you remember this is aniline. When you treat aniline with nitrous acid is HNO2. So it is obtained from this mixture NaNO2 and HCl. So when you treat aniline with nitrous acid or this mixture at the temperature 273 to 278 Kelvin, we are getting benzene diazonium chloride. This is diazonium part. So benzene diazonium chloride. So C6H5N2 plus Cl minus is benzene diazonium chloride. When you hydrolyze this by warming it with water, you're getting phenol. Along with that, you're getting N2 and HCl. So how do you convert aniline into phenol? By treating it with NaNO2 and HCl and then hydrolyzing the benzene diazonium chloride by warming it with water, you get phenol. And the last preparation of phenol is from cumene. Cumene is a hydrocarbon. First, let's see how to prepare this hydrocarbon from benzene. You know what is an hydrocarbon? It contains only carbon and hydrogen. So you take benzene and treat it with propene, propylene or propene. In the presence of H3PO4 at 523 Kelvin, what do you get? You get cumene. Cumene is nothing but isopropyl benzene. See, CH3, CH3. This is isopropyl part and this is benzene. So what is cumene? Isopropyl benzene. Now let's see how to prepare phenol from this cumene. We are taking cumene and oxidizing it in the presence of air. So what you are getting? Cumene hydroperoxide. See, this CH3 and this CH3 is as such, and you are introducing two oxygens in between the C and H. COOH. This is nothing but cumene hydroperoxide. When you treat this cumene hydroperoxide with dilute acid H plus and H2O, you're getting phenol and acetone as the byproduct. See, this acetone, which is the byproduct of this reaction, is also obtained in large quantities. So we can use this method as a preparation method for acetone. So now as we are learning about phenol, this is considered as a method to prepare phenol. So this is how we prepare phenol from cumene. So far we have seen about the preparation of both alcohols and phenols. Now let's try to solve few equations based on these reactions. First, it's an example given in your textbook, example 11.2. The question is, give the structures and IUPAC names of the products expected from the following reactions. So they have given you a reaction and they are asking you to find the product of that reaction and give the structure and the IUPAC name of that product. So the first reaction is catalytic reduction of butanal. So when a question is given like that, first see what compound, which means a starting material is given, because they are asking you the product to be written. So this is the reactant. First you should know how to draw the structure of this reactant. The question is butanal. But means 4 carbon atoms. See, 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon atoms. And al means what functional group is that? CHO. So in the last carbon atom you write CHO. Don't write CHO separately, because while naming this with the parent name, the carbon in the functional group is also included. So the last carbon, or which means here the first carbon, has the functional group. So out of this 4 carbon atoms, write the functional group in one of the carbon atoms, usually the first carbon atom in the case of aldehydes and acids. So this is the skeletal structure of butanal, and now balance it with the hydrogens. So usually the first and the last carbon will have H3, and in the middle we will be having H2. So CH3, CH2, CH2. Here already the functional group is there. So this is the structure of butanal: CH3, CH2, CH2, CHO. So now you are clear with the starting material. Now look at the reaction again. They have given catalytic reduction. So you're going to use a catalyst, which is a reducing agent. We have seen already in the preparation of alcohols, we can use lithium aluminium hydride or sodium borohydride, or you can use hydrogen in the presence of nickel. So any of the catalysts. So we are using here lithium aluminium hydride. So in the presence of this catalyst, this is going to be reduced. Remember, this part will remain the same. This CHO will be reduced to CH2OH. So what will be the product? CH3, CH2, this CH2. Instead of this CHO, we are writing CH2OH. Now name this compound. Start numbering from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Butane, and OH is there in the first carbon. So butane 1-ol is the IUPAC name of this product. So first question is over. The second one, hydration of propene in the presence of dilute sulfuric acid. So we are going to take propene as the starting material. So first write the structure of propene. Prop means 3 carbon atoms. So 1, 2, 3. Ene means you have a double bond. So between any 2 carbon atoms, you can put a double bond. Here either of these 2, because both will be the same. So after writing the double bond, you have to write the hydrogens. As I told you, the first and the last will be having 3 hydrogens, and in the middle you will have 2 hydrogens, but here we have a double bond. So when you are writing a double bond, reduce 1 hydrogen. So here you will be having CH2, here CH, and here CH3. So CH2, double bond CH, single bond CH3. Now we are ready with the starting compound, which is propene. Now see what is the reaction given? Hydration in the presence of dilute sulfuric acid, which means hydration H2O in the presence of sulfuric acid H+. So the reagent here is H2O in the presence of H+. So what will be the product? Remember, I've told you, when you use this reagent, Markovnikov's rule will be followed. So H+ will go to this one, carbon having more number of hydrogen atoms. See, comparing these 2 carbons, this has H2 and this has H. So the negative part will go to carbon having lesser hydrogen atoms. So OH will go here. So you're getting OH here and H will go here. So this becomes CH3. So CH3, CHOH, CH3 is the product. So this is nothing but propane 2-ol. And the next reaction is reaction of propanone with methyl magnesium bromide and followed by hydrolysis. So first look at the starting material, propanone. Prop means 3 carbon atoms, 1, 2, 3. On means you have a ketone group, which is C double bond O. And remember, C double bond O will not come at the end of the chain like aldehyde. It will come in the middle. So on any carbon you can put, but there is only one middle carbon. So here C double bond O. So here CH3, here CH3. This is nothing but propanone, which is also called as acetone. Now you're going to treat it with methyl magnesium bromide and then followed by hydrolysis. What is methyl magnesium bromide? It is Grignard reagent. So we have learned when you take ketone and treat it with methyl magnesium bromide, which is Grignard reagent, and followed by hydrolysis, you will get a tertiary alcohol. So you already have 2 CH3 here. Another CH3 will come from the Grignard reagent. So this becomes OH. So C, CH3, 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 OH. And how can you name this? Don't write the common name because in the question they have very clearly given to write the IUPAC name. So start numbering from here. 1, 2, 3. 3 carbon atoms, prop. In the second carbon you have alcohol. Same way in the second carbon you have methyl. So 2-methyl propane, 2-ol is the IUPAC name. Let's see one more problem. In-text question 11.4. Show how are the following alcohols prepared by the reaction of a suitable Grignard reagent on methanol. So here they have given you the product and one of the reactants. One of the reactants is methanol and the product is this. And they are asking you how to prepare this from a Grignard reagent reacting with methanol. So now methanol, you know, it is nothing but formaldehyde and the formula is HCHO. Now to decide on the Grignard reagent, you have to look at this product, structure of this product. See this part, CH2OH part is coming from the formaldehyde, which means the CH2 part and the OH part is not related to the Grignard reagent. So only this part is present in the Grignard reagent. So this is nothing but isopropyl part. So if you want to form a Grignard reagent with this part, what you can prepare? This MgBr. So this is isopropyl magnesium bromide. So this part you can include in the Grignard reagent part. Now taking formaldehyde and isopropyl magnesium bromide, what you will get? You will get an addition product. This formaldehyde can be written like this, CHH double bond O. And here to O, this MgBr will get attached and this CH3 twice will get attached to carbon. So that's what I've written here. So CH3 twice CH will get itself attached to the carbon of methanol and these two hydrogens are as such, and to this oxygen what is getting attached? MgBr. So this is the addition product. When you hydrolyze it, remember there will be a cleavage here between O and MgBr. So H will come here from H2O, H will come here, OH will go there. So what you will get as byproduct? MgOHBr will go out. And what is this? CH3 twice CH, CH2OH. So that is the given product. So this twice is written as separately. CH, one CH3 here, another CH3 here, CH2OH. This is isobutyl alcohol. And the next one is this. This is the product given and they are asking you what Grignard reagent can be treated with methanol to get this product. As I told you, leave the CH2OH. What alkyl part is here? Cyclohexyl part. So C6H5, this is cyclohexyl part, and this C6H11 part, because C6H5 is phenyl. This is not phenyl, this is cyclohexyl part. This with MgBr, this is the suitable Grignard reagent. This is called as cyclohexyl magnesium bromide. Now you are going to treat this with methanol. What will be the addition product you will get? This part, this MgBr will go with O and this will get attached to the C. So this C and two hydrogens in C is as such and OMgBr. Now we are hydrolyzing it. So you will get a cleavage here, OH, MgBr, OH. So this is cyclohexyl. This part CH2 will come here and OH. Cyclohexyl methanol. One carbon atom, meth. and OH, OL. So methanol, cyclohexyl methanol is the product which is already given in the question. So you have found what Grignard reagent is suitable for preparing this product. So once you're clear with all the preparation methods of alcohols and phenols, then you can frame any kind of equations like this. Now let's move on to the physical properties of alcohols and phenols. In the physical properties of alcohols and phenols, we are going to see about two important physical properties. One is boiling points, the other one is solubility. As you know, alcohols and phenols, they consist of two parts, an alkyl part, aryl part, and a hydroxyl part, which is OH. So the properties of these alcohols and phenols are mainly due to this hydroxyl group. And the nature of this alkyl and aryl groups, they simply modify the properties of alcohols and phenols. So first let's see boiling points. Generally, the boiling points of alcohols and phenols increase with increase in the number of carbon atoms. What is the reason? As the number of carbon atom increases, there will be increase in van der Waals forces. So as the van der Waals forces increases, the boiling points increases. So remember, boiling points increases as the number of carbon atom increases in alcohols and phenols, and it is due to the increase in the van der Waals forces. Now when you take isomeric alcohols, which means they have the same molecular formula, which means they have the same number of carbon atom and oxygen and hydrogen, then what will be their boiling points? Their boiling points decreases as the branching increases, because as the branching increases, the van der Waals forces of attraction decreases, and that decreases the surface, that is due to the decrease in the surface area. So remember, when you compare the boiling points of isomeric alcohols, as the branching increases, as the surface area decreases, the van der Waals forces also decrease, so boiling point decrease. Now I have shown an example here. Now see, these three are what? Isomeric alcohols, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2OH, which is butanol. Here we have a straight chain. Here there is branching. Here much more branching. This is secondary. This is primary. This is tertiary. So as the branching increases, see what is decreasing? Boiling point is decreasing. So now we are going to compare the boiling point of alcohols and phenols with different families. It is interesting to note that the boiling points of alcohols and phenols are higher in comparison to other classes of compounds like hydrocarbons, ethers, haloalkanes, haloarenes of comparable molecular masses. Even though the molecular masses of these compounds and alcohols and phenols are similar, then also alcohols and phenols will have higher boiling points. See, when you compare alcohols, ethers, haloalkanes and hydrocarbons, alcohols have higher boiling point than ethers. Ethers will have higher boiling points than haloalkanes. Haloalkanes will have higher boiling points than hydrocarbons. When you will be learning about ethers and ketones and aldehydes, you will be learning in detail about that. And when you include ketones and aldehydes, and this will be the order. First alcohols and then ketones, aldehydes, and then comes ethers, haloalkanes and hydrocarbons. Here I have arranged the compounds in the decreasing order of their boiling points. Here I have shown three examples. We have taken ethanol, methoxymethane and propane. This is an alcohol, an ether and a hydrocarbon. Ethanol has higher boiling point than ether, and ether has higher boiling point than the hydrocarbon. They have almost similar molecular masses. Now the question is, why alcohols and phenols have higher boiling points when compared to the other families? The reason is due to the intermolecular hydrogen bonding in alcohols and phenols. See, this is a phenol, ROH, and oxygen compared to hydrogen is more electronegative, so it has a partial negative charge, and this hydrogen has a partial positive charge. So this oxygen with a partial negative charge is forming a hydrogen bonding with the hydrogen of another alcohol, which also has a partial positive charge, because comparing with this oxygen, this hydrogen is less electronegative, so this gets a partial positive and this gets a partial negative. So there is an hydrogen bonding with partially negative oxygen and the partially positive hydrogen of these two different alcohols. We call this hydrogen bonding as intermolecular hydrogen bonding because this is between two molecules of alcohol. So we need more energy to break this bond along with these chemical bonds. That's the reason why the boiling point of alcohols is more. So what is the reason for higher boiling points of alcohols? It is due to the intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Same way we have this hydrogen bonding in phenol also. In phenol, this O has partial negative charge and hydrogen has a partial positive. So this hydrogen of this phenol is forming a bonding with this oxygen of another phenol. So this is hydrogen bonding. Same way here also. So due to this intermolecular hydrogen bonding in phenols, again phenol have higher boiling points. So the next physical property that we are going to see is solubility in water. Alcohols and phenols are soluble in water. Usually organic compounds are insoluble in water, but why alcohols and phenols are soluble in water? Again, the reason is due to their ability to form hydrogen bonds with water molecules. See, this is a water molecule, and in water molecule, oxygen, which is more electronegative, is bonded to hydrogen. So oxygen has a partial negative charge and hydrogen has a partial positive charge. So this oxygen with a partial negative is forming a hydrogen bonding with the hydrogen of this alcohol. Why? Because here also we have highly electronegative oxygen atom bonded to hydrogen. So there is a partial negative charge and a partial positive charge. So there is a possibility of hydrogen bonding, and this is the reason why alcohols and phenols are soluble in water. And remember, this solubility in water decreases as the size of aryl or alkyl group increases, which means higher alcohols are not soluble in water because the alkyl or aryl part is hydrophobic. So as the size of this alkyl or aryl group increases, the solubility in water decreases. Now let's see an example which is given in your textbook, example 11.3. Arrange in increasing order of boiling points. They have given you pentane 1-ol, butane 1-ol, butane 2-ol, ethanol, propane 1-ol and methanol. So all are alcohols, so no problem. If they have given you different functional groups, then we have to look for the functional groups. So here all are alcohols. So when all are alcohols, now look for number of carbon atoms. Lesser the number of carbon atoms, lesser will be the boiling points. So out of this, which is having lesser number of carbon atoms, methanol. So first write methanol with the least boiling point. And after methanol, we have 2 carbon atoms in where ethanol. Where is ethanol? Here it is ethanol. So write ethanol. Now the 3 carbon atom is propanol. So that has the next higher boiling point, propanol. Now coming to 4 carbon atoms, butanol. We have 2 butanols here which are isomeric, butane 1-ol and butane 2-ol. Now look for the branching. As the branching increases, boiling point decreases. In butane 1-ol and butane 2-ol, branching will be more in butane 1-ol because this is a straight chain. So this has a lesser boiling point than this. So write butane 2-ol and then comes butane 1-ol and finally pentane 1-ol with 5 carbon atoms. So this is the increasing order of the boiling points of this alcohols. So I have written the formula also. Methanol CH3OH, ethanol C2H5OH, propanol CH3, CH2, CH2OH, butane 2-ol. So this is 2-ol, this is 1-ol, here branching. So lesser boiling point compared to this. And finally pentane 1-ol. And the next question is pentane 1-ol, N-butane, pentanal, ethoxyethane. So they have given you different functional groups. We know pentane 1-ol is alcohol, N-butane is hydrocarbon, pentanal is aldehyde and ethoxyethane is ether. And just now we have seen among all this which has got the higher boiling point, alcohol. And again, what is the reason? It is due to the intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So pentanal has the highest boiling point. After that we have aldehyde, pentanal, this is pentanol, and then we have ether and finally hydrocarbon. So we have arranged this in increasing boiling points. So far we have seen about the preparation of alcohols and phenols and their physical properties. Thank you.